So you want to get rich, but it feels impossible because all your ideas are bad. Well, at least you think they are. What if we don't need a good idea to start with in the first place? 3 weeks ago, I made a video that I've embarked on my journey to earning my first $1 million. And as you probably guessed, I've also been searching for that one killer idea. However, I read The Millionaire Fastlane by MJ DeMarco, and it made me think that probably we're getting this all wrong. Perhaps we don't need that great idea after all. So in this video, I'm breaking down the 4 things I discovered that will change how you think about business ideas. I'm Celestine, and let's get into it. Whenever I think of getting rich, our first instinct is we need a business. And to get a business, we need an idea. So we go down this rabbit hole looking for an idea. We get one today, let's say today on Monday, and it looks great. We are like, this is what we're going for. But then we look back at it on Wednesday. We are like, this is trash. And then we completely scratch that out and then repeat the cycle again. And then before we know it, we're like, we're not cut out for this business stuff. Maybe I'm not meant to be rich. But what if the idea is actually not the problem? This year, I decided to take my reading more seriously. But as someone who isn't really into reading, it was quite a challenge for me. My first book was The Psychology of Money, and then my second book was The Millionaire Fastlane by MJ DeMarco. This one really changed how I think about ideas and businesses. It made me learn everything from ground zero up, and my mind really opened up to things I didn't really think about. And this brings me to my first point. The person who owns an idea is not the one who imagines it, but the one who executes it. Most of the times when we stumble on an idea that we feel has a winning shot, we decide to go all in and making sure that idea actually works, and so that we don't waste any of our time. So we keep on refining it and preparing it to make sure it's as good as possible so that it can last in the market. But then we do this, comparing competitor analysis and all of that, to the extent that we end up pushing ourselves out of the game because we feel like this idea was actually total nonsense. But then somebody else who had the same idea and probably had it after you just spent a few amount of time refining the idea and immediately went into the market and started getting results. So when people look at it, even though you had the idea first, the person who actually executed is seen to be the source of that idea. In one of the 4 businesses that I did, I remember the one about LinkedIn content system. I spent quite some time trying to shape the idea and make it as good as possible. And even as good as possible that I made it, still wasn't really good. And when I finally put it into the market, it didn't really perform because I didn't make it according to the market. I was preparing it based on how I think it would work and not based on what the market actually wanted. But then I saw someone else who had a similar idea, but this person was talking directly to the market constantly, and his looks totally better than mine. And the reason why mine is different from his is he had the idea, and as soon as possible immediately put something out to the market to see how they would respond to it, and he started getting more results. And while me, who was just doing things based on what I thought, ended up losing the game. Sad. And the second point that really struck me is just because an idea exists doesn't mean you can't do it. I mean, this one blew my mind because every time I get an idea, when I feel like it already exists, I completely scrap it and I'm like, it won't work, there's somebody doing it already. But then MJ DeMarco was saying that what you should do rather is look when you get the idea and there are existing businesses, look into those existing businesses, those existing solutions, and then find their weaknesses and then capitalize on them. So when those weaknesses should then become your strength. So if you feel like, let's say, this business doesn't serve their customers very well, like customer service is not that good, you can capitalize on that and use customer service to make yourself stand out. Or if you feel like their delivery system isn't that good, then capitalize on that. So now I see that many of the ideas I had before could actually work, but I was just feeling like it had to be unique. It had to be like some Albert Einstein moment that you get something that nobody has ever thought about before. Popular examples of this is Uber. When Uber came, there were already taxis, but they offered something that regular taxis didn't offer. When iPhones came, there were already phones available, but they offered something that normal phones didn't offer. So it's not about if that solution already exists, it's about if you can serve that need better than what is already serving it. The third point is that ideas are just potential speeds, but then execution is the actual accelerator. And this one, I think most of us already know that it's not just about the idea, but it's about executing it. But when you look at it this way, it completely changes how you look at it. So if you're looking at the table, which should be on the screen right now, you see that there's potential ideas and then there's actual execution. And then you see an idea that was awful, just had a speed of 1 mile per hour. And then you see how it increases to a brilliant idea, had a speed of 200 miles per hour. But then when you look at the execution side, no execution is just $1, weak execution is 1,000, so is 10,000, good is 100,000, and brilliant is 10 million. By the way, this is directly from the Millionaire Fastlane. I didn't make this up. So I just take an idea that's very bad and I execute it brilliantly, I make $10 million. So I don't even need to wait for the brilliant idea. I just need a very good enough idea. Anything, it can be very bad, and I just execute it very, very well, and I can earn so much money from that. So looking at this table, I'm like, probably I'm just the one holding myself back. I don't need that Albert Einstein, Thomas Edison idea before I can make my $1 billion. Yeah, I think it's pretty wild, isn't it? Now, this fourth point is the one that really, really resonates with me. It says, affect millions and you make millions. It makes me realize that it's not about me chasing money and chasing for the new thing that's in the game, chasing for the new AI or the new this or the new that, but it's about making sure that I am impacting the lives of many people. It's about making sure that I'm making the lives of people easier, making them happier, making them feel better, making them smile more, like helping remove a nail from someone's leg. And the more I'm able to do that, if I'm able to do that for more people, the money finds itself to me. So most times we are looking for the new thing to make money, but maybe we should start taking it from the standpoint of how can I help someone else? And by genuinely helping someone else, you see that people are willing to pay you for that. If I can help someone make $1 million, they'll be willing to pay me a lot of money because I can help them do that. If I'm able to help like a family go on a vacation without worrying about their kids, they'll be willing to pay for me because they know that they really want to get that break and I'm able to give that to them. So, or if I'm able to help someone, let's say, get front row seats to this concert that comes from this big music group, they'll be willing to pay money for me because they really admire that music group. So you don't really have to chase the money. You just have to make sure that you're affecting the lives of millions. I don't know if these points really blew your mind, but if any of them blew your mind, it should be the third and the fourth point by far. But anyway, that's it for this video, and I hope they really stood out to you. If you like the video, just hit the like button, subscribe, and share this with a friend so that someone else can learn what you learned and the channel can grow as well. Yeah, and by the way, since you're on your journey to becoming rich, you definitely need to learn how to conquer your goals. So you can just hop onto this video here, and I'll see you next time.